Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the 10-game NBA DFS slate on Saturday. We got a little bit of a day off tomorrow for NBA at least. No NBA games, obviously with the NFL, and then we have the in-season games starting next week. So again, we got NBA all day. Excited for that. If this is your first time watching, guys, again, I cover content for daily fantasy sports and for prop sets like PrizePicks, Underdog, and Parlay Play. Guys, if you're not on PrizePicks, you can use the code DKDFS for a 100% match up to $100. It'll be linked down below. How it works is you build out player props or slips of player props 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. If you hit all 6, you win 25 extra money. These are all the sports at the top of the screen that you can enter. You can mix and match sports as well. If you do want to give it a try again, click that link down below or use the code DKDFS. And I highly would recommend it. I had a lot of fun on PrizePicks. If you guys are looking for more content for DFS or for prop stuff, you can check my Patreon link down below. Had a really good night 2 nights ago. Last night, not so much, but I told people, made a post about it once we got the Philadelphia news that Max was out. I said, you got to take a stand one way or the other. The Philly guys, we're going to be under-owned either way. I said, if you play for a competitive game, if you think it's competitive, you want to go heavy on the 76ers, Pat Bev, and Melton, and Paul Reed, guys like that. I said, okay, if you think the game blows out, maybe you look to guys like Mo Bamba or Jaden Springer, who didn't play. I think there was a faulty report there. Because he was listed as in, but I think he might have been out. I don't know, because he's definitely like ahead of Korkmaz in the depth chart. He's ahead of a lot of guys who didn't play. So that was a strange one. Don't really know what happened there. But yeah, I played for the blowout, so I don't regret the way that I played. But some people played for the competitive game and had huge nights because Pat Bev broke the slate, Melton smashed. A lot of main Philadelphia guys went crazy. So yeah. That was the recap there, and let's just get in this video. So Orlando, Brooklyn's the first game here. Orlando, still no Carter Jr., still no Fultz, Jonathan Isaac. Also, I got a little bit banged up. We'll see about his status. But yeah, Paolo and Franz, 2 guys at the top. 8.4 for Paolo, 8K for Franz. When they're close enough in price, I'm going to give the edge to Paolo over Franz. Both are in play. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, not the same values that they have been in weeks past. Cole Anthony got in random massive foul trouble last game. But he's a guy that should play, high 20s to low 30s minutes. Jalen Suggs should play similar minutes. Both reasonable plays, wouldn't prioritize either. Bataze and Mo Wagner splitting the center position. You got guys like Ingles and Gary Harris playing decent minutes out of the bench. But yeah, let's talk about Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, no Ben Simmons, no Lonnie Walker. Cam Thomas in the first game back came off the bench. But interesting to see if he starts this game or not. Mikal Bridges, 8.3K. Obviously has a ceiling, but feels priced about right. Dinwiddie with Cam Thomas back did lose a little bit of run, 34 minutes, but still expecting mid-30s minutes from him, makes him playable, but maybe a little bit overpriced. Cam Thomas is at 6.9, played 25 minutes off the bench and smashed. We'll see if he starts. I would have a little bit of interest in him. Nick Claxton was my favorite center play of the slate. Last slate, he absolutely smashed. Price point went up on him, but still think he's a decent option. Should expect around 30 minutes. There just are times, though, the Nets troll with his minutes, and they go to like Day'Ron Sharp, or they go small, they go Trent Watford. It is annoying. Just play Claxton 35 minutes a night. Cam Johnson, 6.3K, should play, probably on average close to 30 minutes. There are times where he does play more. I don't really know if I get to any of the other wings. Let's talk about Cleveland and Detroit. This Detroit team is awful. My Pistons have been awful for a long time. Yeah, Cleveland in a good spot here. I think all the main guys look like solid options. The 2 guards, Mitchell, 9.2K, Darius Garland, 7.3, I think are good point per dollar plays. The 2 bigs I like as well, Evan Mobley, 7.8K. Jarrett Allen at 6.5K. Again, it's just a smash spot for all these guys. You saw 38 minutes last game for Jarrett Allen. Max Strus should play big minutes as well. Again, the starters are just playing huge minutes for Cleveland right now. Not going to get 10 of the bench guys, but all 5 starters I think are firmly in play here for Detroit. I mean, I don't know what to do with this team, man. They're awful. They're running a deep rotation right now. It's kind of hard to get to anyone. They moved Asur Thompson to the bench. Bojan also back too. I have a hard time getting to anyone on this slate. Kate Cunningham, 8.7, feels priced about right. I guess Duren would be my preferred option if I had to pick someone. 30 plus minutes in 2 of the last 3 games. 6.6K, reasonable price point for him. But I just don't know if I can stomach any of these guards. I don't know what they're doing. Bojan is expected to play. I don't know how many minutes he's going to play. So, yeah, Pistons, kind of a fade for me. Pelicans, got no CJ McCollum. So the other 2 main guys, and Zion and Ingram, look better. Zion at 9K, had a letdown game last game, but before that, it's been playing pretty consistent. Brandon Ingram, 8.6, should do more of the ball handling. Both the main Pelicans guys, spend-ups, I think, are solid options. Jonas Valanciunas, 7K, had a really big game last game. He should play around 30 minutes, reasonable play. Guys like Daniels and Hawkins are going to play a lot more. CJ McCollum out. The issue is they're not super cheap, but 5.5K for Daniels. Expect him to start at the point guard position. Hawks in the 5-4 should play a little bit more as well. Herb Jones is kind of just there. Don't really know if we get to anyone else. We'll keep an eye on the news of Alvarado as well. If he's out, I think you should feel a little bit better about the minutes for a guy like Daniels. Also, Trey Murphy, in his first game, played 22 minutes. We'll see if he's available as well. But that's one more body in the rotation. For the Chicago side, no Levine. DeRozan is questionable. So DeRozan news is huge. Obviously, if DeRozan misses, you're going to get, Vucevic, Kobe White running the offense. Then you're just going to get big minutes for your secondary guys. Guys like Pat Williams and Caruso and Ayo Dosunmu, Torrey Craig. These guys all see a significant minutes bump if there is no DeRozan. So keep an eye on that. If DeRozan plays, then it's really Vooch and DeRozan that I'm looking to. DeRozan's been up and down this year, but again, when you take one of the big three out, the other two look way, way better. And DeRozan's in. These secondary options are playable, but they would all feel priced about right, maybe a little bit overpriced. Drummond, we know, backup Vooch, he'll be a good point per minute guy. I mean, he went for a double-double in 13 minutes. Like, that is something Andre Drummond can do. If Vooch gets in some foul trouble, he could smash. Indiana and Miami, the big news obviously is Halliburton. He's questionable. So this is going to change everything because Halliburton is the offense here for the Pacers. If he misses, it's going to be either Nembhard or McConnell picking up the start. Both will be good plays. 3.9K for Andrew Nembhard. 3.4K for TJ McConnell. Yeah, if there is no Halliburton, one of those two will start, and the other one will back them up, and they're both going to be good point power plays. So could be a lot of good value here for the Pacers, and everyone else in the starting line would look better too. More usage for guys like Hield and Brown and Toppin and Mathurin, Naismith. Like all these rotation players all look way better if Halliburton's out. Miles Turner, 7.1, put 20 minutes last game. Isaiah Jackson backed him up, but then got in massive foul trouble with Jalen Smith out. So they actually went to some small ball Obi Toppin at the 5. If they do that again, then Obi Toppin is interesting here at 5.2K. Talk about Miami. So no Bam, no Hero, but Jimmy Butler now is back. Jimmy Butler, 9.1, should be the clear go-to guy. Should play high 30s minutes in a good spot. The rest of Miami, I think, are interesting options too. Duncan, Jaquez, Lowry, J. Rich, Martin, Love, all playable. I think Jaquez might be my preferred option of these secondary options. He's just playing big minutes right now. He's a big part of this offense. Looks good. I assume they probably start Thomas Bryant at the 5, and then they're going to use Kevin Love as the backup 5. With that being said, I think both bigs are good plays in Love and in Bryant, but they're not as cheap as they have been in games past. We'll talk about Atlanta and Milwaukee. So Atlanta, like the upside on the two guards here in Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Milwaukee's defense has not been the same as they have been in years past. So the two main Atlanta guards think look like decent plays. The wings, Bogdanovich, Hunter, Bay, all have been playing a bit more with Jalen Johnson now. Capella, Okongwu, they're going to split the center position. Kind of secondary plays for me. On the Milwaukee side, Giannis, 11.3. He's playing big minutes. Competitive games, you should see high 30s minutes from him in a good spot. Dame Lillard, 9.3. I think I'd rather get to Giannis, but he's playable. Chris Middleton, 6.2K, should see low 20s minutes. Again, overtime last game, you do it to factor that in. Lopez and Bobby Portis kind of splitting the center position. Connaughton and Jay Crowder are still out. Malik Beasley has been playing big minutes, but the price point now is up on him. Oklahoma City and Dallas. Oklahoma City, you got Shea, 10.5K. I like the ceiling on him a good amount. He's just playing big minutes in competitive games. Chet, kind of up and down, but the ceiling clearly is there. He's always fine for me in tournaments. Jalen Williams, 6.3K. Should see around 30-ish minutes or so. I think he's a decent option there. Probably not going to get to much else here from the Thunder, though. Isaiah Joe's been playing decent minutes off the bench. Did want to mention that. For Dallas, so obviously Kyrie trolled everyone last game, going 3 of 15 shooting, and now he's uncertain to play. They don't have that Draftkings, but yeah, he apparently got a little bit banged up. We'll keep behind the status of Luka and Hardaway and Exum as well. We could have a lot of Dallas value once again, especially if Luka, Kyrie, Hardaway, and Exum are all out. Then it's going to be the Jaden Hardy show. Then we're looking at Josh Green. Then we're looking to Seth Curry. We're looking at these wings. There's going to be a ton to like here from Dallas if all those guys are out. If they're all in, then I think Luka and Kyrie are fine options. Would prefer Luka to Kyrie, point per dollar basis. But that would probably be it if they're all in. All right, Memphis and Phoenix. So you got Bane and Jaren Jackson obviously running the show offensively. I think Bane's a little bit safer just because, I don't know, he doesn't foul out every game. Jaren, it's just, if you play this guy, this is definitely in the range of outcomes. Aldama off the bench is too expensive. You got Tillman back. We'll see if he's available on a back-to-back. If he is, both centers are out of play. If he misses, then Biyombo becomes playable. Derrick Rose started last game, played 20 minutes only, was a blowout. If he starts again, would have a little bit of interest in him. Roddy also picked up a start, played 24 minutes. Probably not get 10 else, though. I will mention Jalen Noel, 3.7K. He got extended a bit last game because of the blowout. He's the guy that's going to chuck when he's out there, has nice eligibility. So I think he's an interesting GPP play. For Phoenix, we'll keep an eye on the stats of Booker. Obviously, that's going to change everything. If Booker's in, there's not a ton to like here from Phoenix. If Booker's out, then KD looks good at the top. He shot like 0 of 70 in the second half, but still clear go-to guy. My boy Nurkic had a huge game against Jokic. He was dominating Jokic. You absolutely love to see that. He looks better if there's no Booker. And then guys like Gordon, Grayson Allen, Goodwin become solid plays if there is no Booker. The price points are up a bit on them, but still, these guys can play big minutes. Like last game, Eric Gordon, 33 minutes. Grayson Allen played 37 minutes. Goodwin, I want to say, played solid minutes off the bench, 20. But he can play a little bit more. Those guys all look better if Devin Booker is out. Portland and Utah, we got two really bad teams going up against each other. This game's interesting. Brogdon, AK, I think would be my favorite of these options. Would expect him to play, low to mid 30s minutes. But Grant, Shaedon Sharpe, DeAndre Ayton, these guys are all firmly in play for me in a really good matchup. Shaedon Sharpe had a huge game last game. DeAndre Ayton, again, is in a good spot. All these main Blazers I like. Scoot Henderson, the floor is really low on him. He's not looked great, but still a guy that should see 20-plus minutes on the bench. I'm probably not going to get anyone else here, though. Kamara Thibault kind of splitting the small forward position. Talk about the Jazz. So the Jazz are also shorthanded. You got no Markkanen, no Clarkson. Kelly Olynyk is a little bit banged up. No Chris Dunn as well. Last game, they started Keontae George, Agbaji, Fontecchio, John Collins. And I believe Yurt 7 still started, but his minutes have been ticking down. Kessler's minutes have been ticking up. Collins, 6.8K. The minutes have not been amazing on him recently. Sub 30 minutes in the last 4 games, but still playable, obviously, without Markkanen and Clarkson. My boy Keontae George, I think, would be my preferred option here. Played 33 minutes, shot 4 of 19, so the usage was clearly there for him. He just was not making his shots, but still got a pretty high ceiling. I do like Walker Kessler, too. Minutes have been ticking up. Good spot for him. So I do like Kessler, whether he starts or not. THT and Sexton feel a little bit overpriced right now for their roles off the bench. Fontecchio, 5.1, feels priced about right. I mean, he has played well of late. I'll give him that. I don't know if he continues this level of production. Agbaji started, had a big game too. Played 36 minutes. If he plays 36 minutes again, then I do have a little bit of interest in Agbaji. Let's talk about Denver and Sacramento. So Denver, Murray Gordon changes everything here. If they're both in, there's not much to like here from Denver, really outside of Jokic. If they're both out, then we can start considering some of these secondary plays. Michael Porter Jr., 7.9K, has had a couple big games of late. Reggie Jackson started at the point where would become playable. Some of these value plays would be a little bit interesting. Guys like Holiday and Strother and Peyton Watson. But it really just comes down to, again, Murray and Gordon. And finally, Sacramento. Keegan Murray is questionable. That's pretty important. If he misses, then guys like Malik Monk probably play a little bit more. Duarte would start. Bezengov would play a little bit more. If he's in, those value plays probably out of play. Sabonis and Fox at the top. Sabonis has been quiet of late. Really, really bad game last game. I think he's still interesting for tournaments. De'Aaron Fox should play huge minutes. I mean, look at the last 4 games. 38, 37, 40, 38 minutes. So I think you got to still have some interest in De'Aaron Fox. Outside of that, not a ton to like if Murray plays. If Murray misses, then some of these secondary plays, Herter, Monk, Barnes become a little bit interesting. Let's talk about Houston and the Lakers' final game here. So got Van Fleet back. Şengün, Van Fleet, again, this is where the offense is running from. Last game was a massive blowout, so Şengün only put 28 minutes, but he's played big minutes recently in competitive games. Van Fleet's playing like 40 minutes a night in competitive games. The 2 main Rockets I like. Jalen Green, I think, is a little bit overpriced there at 7.4. Jabari Smith at 6.2, also should play mid-30s minutes. I think he's reasonable. Dylan Brooks, we know the rivalry there with him and LeBron, but again, he's very, very foul-prone. Don't really know if I get the secondary pieces from Houston. Finally, the Lakers. We know Anthony Davis and LeBron are going to play. Cam Reddish, questionable. Keep an eye on that. Anthony Davis versus LeBron, I do give the edge to AD over LeBron, but both main Lakers are in play here. D'Lo had that one huge game a couple games ago, but about 7K price point for him feels about right. Reeves at 6.7 feels a little bit overpriced. Don't really know if I get to the wings. You also got Rui Hachimura, who's going to be available. So, yeah, outside of the main 2 guys, I'm probably not going to get to much else here from the Lakers. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for the video. Again, we got a day off tomorrow for NBA. We're back at it for the in-season, quarterfinal games, I think, Monday and Tuesday. Thanks again for watching. If you do enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll see you guys all in the next video.